Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here, and I finally want to show you, and I'm so far behind on making videos. I want to show you the really amazing rate cards that I produce. And these are fantastic, last a lifetime empowered talismanic rate cards. Now, a rate is something that has a cosmic or a number code on it that represents something. Oops. And these numbers are what radionic practitioners come up with when they use dial machines, which is difficult to do, and you need really a professional to do it. I mean, people think they're dialing in something, but if you're not skilled, it really doesn't work. But we go far beyond that. I've designed these for many years and tested them. Well, not only do we have, as you can see here, the actual number. Now, this number represents an energy, so it's like labeling something. So fiery wall of protection, which is a strong protective energy, we're labeling with a particular number reality. Now, this reality of putting everything in numbers comes from the ancient Greeks thousands of years ago, who decided that the entire world was explained by mathematics, and that mathematics was not something invented. It was something that we discovered. We found that this is how the universe works. Now, we as a society have bought into this. Like everything we do, it's usually based on something thousands of years ago that's never been improved. And just like most things come from still the ancient Greeks, which got a lot of things from the ancient Egyptians, who got their stuff from the ancient Atlanteans. But that's how it flowed into Europe, etc. But certainly the Greeks at that particular time were fantastic thinkers. And of course, all they did was kill each other. And it's amazing we have anything left from them. And of course, now it's a pretty debased, horrible society. Who decides to be slaves to the Germans by being in the EU and don't have the courage to break away. That's another story, but you should know the facts. But let's get back to these amazing rate cards. So everything in society now, and the people will tell you that it is based in some mathematical understanding. But what we have to understand is mathematics, just like this rate card, is really very symbolic in nature. You're not really, people look at numbers, oh, we're counting. No, we're not counting. We're creating a symbol. Now, this number represents this energy. So it's nothing to do with it. They're just a symbol. That just happens to be what we term as a number. But when you put multi-numbers together, especially if you're not counting, this is not 9 million, blah, 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 blah. So the whole idea is that this is 978, etc. This is now a number that represents a particular energetic reality. And this actually. Now, what we've done here is not only do I try and make things to look cosmetically attractive, but there are hundreds of coded and powered symbols that mean protection underneath this eye. Now, I put a lot of eyes on my particular work that I do, the sigil, because this is where you're supposed to focus. So you look into the eye and you drag the energy into you. Don't think that this has anything to do with the bastardized, ridiculous crap that some people equate eyes with Illuminati. I don't think the Illuminati owns eyes. And the fact is they've took that seeing eye symbol and put it on American currency. Well, that has nothing to do with anything. So that stuff only has effects if you believe in it and somehow connect it to it. And that's a bad thing to do. So eyes are what you look into all your life, or should be. So the bottom line is that the energy is there and you connect to it that way. So there's a bunch of sacred symbols, empowerments underneath the eye. You have then the code here. So you can see a lot of work has been put into these. And we're going to have many, many of these in the future. Right now, we only have these prime 4, but there's going to be many more that'll cover just about everything that you need. I mean, you don't need hundreds of these, but you certainly need probably 20 or 30 to cover most things in your life. So what you do with something like this is a rate, and you can put it directly on a radionic machine in one of your boxes. You can carry this with you as a talisman and then pull it out, look into the eye when, maybe the roads are icy and you're going home from work. Well, you want to make sure you get home safe. So you carry this with you. You take it out when you're sitting in your car, maybe letting it warm up a bit. Look into the eye and say, I bring protective energy to me. Safe home I will be soon. And that you're ready to go. Now, the best ones to get are the ones that are custom made for you. This is not. On the other side of these, if you get the standard type, we just repeat the same design. You can see how beautiful they are. So look at this nice thick metal. These are aluminum. They are light, but they are thick and sturdy. This is no beer can. So these are beautiful. They're made well by a person who's been making these for 20 years. These are really fantastic. You see, they come with chains as well. You could actually wear this around your neck if you wanted to. And you can change these often. Well, today you need protection. Maybe you need money the next day. And here's the same process we're talking about here. And here you can see the numbers a little better. And we put this cool background here and money drawing. But this is your actual radionic code. And you don't need to dial that into the machine. What you need to do, if you have a dial machine, you can. But what you do is it's all ready to go. So what you do is you take your radionic box. And here's one, and we're producing these new boxes as well. You get 4 different designs where we now have boxes that you can use endless amounts of energy empowerment that you insert into the box. But what you would do is you would take this with your actual Polaroid, and you should have one of our cameras. You need to have one of our special Polaroid cameras that capture all that energy so you have it at the highest level. Remember, we're talking about subtle energy physics here. So you've got to have as much energy as you can get. But again, this has the same thing on the back. All you have to do is put that in here. I happen to have a Uri Geller signature here. And you can get copies of that online now. We do offer where you can print one out for yourself. But I always like to use it. Uri Geller's a very powerful person. And, we always try and, who else can we bring? We know that he's real. When you use gods and stuff, we don't really know what's going on there, or spirits. You put it in there. You've got the money on top of this. This is vibrating. These actual energies. Here's a pyramidal energy. This is a very advanced energy seal. And now you've got that going in your phone. So now it's sending money to you personally. It's just as simple as that. That's how radionic works. Now, people are confused by the fact of all this dialing, which really does nothing unless you're an expert. You don't need all that stuff. It's a lot of time for nothing. And you invest in some of these great rate cards. And as I said, these are metal. You can wear them. You can hold them. You can draw the energy. So when you want energy, let's say you want to, as I said, you want to protect yourself going home from work on a bad weather day. Well, you grab it like this with your 2 thumbs on it. You focus on the eye, and then you bring the energy into you, like I've said. Now, those are what you get. Now we also have the other type. Now, this is a great one for people that want specific types of energy. It says on here, rub oil on plate below. Now, this is a special manifesting symbol again. And you get one of our actual oils, which are have these little roll bottles on it. I don't have one handy here. They're at my other altar. And you just rub a little on here. You shake the bottle forward a little. You shake it a little, so there's a little, and then you put oil on here. You go clockwise on this area, and you don't have to stay in there. You want to get it on the plate. The whole plate is energized, but this is a focal point again. So if you want to say, well, I need money. Clockwise, I need money. Uncrossing. I want to remove that negative energy from me. Counterclockwise. And now that is filled with that energy and it's manifesting. And again, it's best to put it in a radionic type box here, because this is going to energize it even further. So this gives you a lot more energy, a lot broadcasting. You got to remember, all these are great tools. But, if you're not energizing what you're doing by at least using these very powerful symbols we have here, if you're not using those powerful symbols, you are not generating a lot of energy. A lot of people have serious problems. And you're going to have to do that. And what you're also going to have to do is make sure that, as you can see behind here, that energy should be going into a actual tube amplifier that then is using a broadcasting transmitter. And of course, I have these going 24 hours a day. Here's my regular dial radionic box, which I tend to use. We're coming out with similar ones like this soon. Actually, much more powerful than that. That's one I built 30 years ago. But it's still a great little box in a wood. That's classic walnut. Really a beautiful machine. What we're talking about here are these. And these are, as I said, we've got 4 of these. We're going to have a lot more. This really gives you the access to the over 100, or maybe there's 200 different alchemical oils for just about everything. You name it, there's an oil for it. And you can follow up by using that alchemical oil that you rub on here. You also can rub them on tea lights. Tea lights are very inexpensive, and you could put the tea light on top of the box and here in a holder, of course, and this could go inside the box. So using tea lights and burning little candles is tried and true. It's super easy. It's a great way to bring huge amounts of power to what you're doing at the lowest possible cost. And you can look at our formula page and see all those many formulas and oils. And these are things that people should not overlook. Radionics is great, but I like to use both. And I've done what's called candle magic for 30 years, and it works great. And of course, adding that in with radionics is really unbeatable. So that's the kind of ultimate system that you should be using. Now, these, of course, have, as I mentioned, you can see how nice and thick they are. They are light because they are aluminum, but they're very thick and very high quality, very well printed, as you can see here, and made by a person who's been doing that for over 20 years, and they really are beautiful. And this lasts forever. These colors don't fade. These don't chip off. So you can wear them and even carry them in your pocket, and you're not going to see much of a difference in terms of fading or other problems. So that's the same thing on both sides, unless, now, if you want to get the personalized ones, and of course they cost a little more, but they're worth it because of the fact, and here we go with, this is a, for actually dealing with the higher well-being, the fighting of negative viral type energies that come at your etheric energy fields. And you got to remember that all of this works on your subtle energy bodies, your subtle energies that surround you, and all the kind of subtle energies work from the outside in. When you get to physical things that medical doctors work on, you're talking about working from the inside out. So it's completely different, and these are completely different energies, and you either understand subtle energies or you don't. Generally, subtle energies are considered, well, this is not something that your common doctors work with or anything else. So this is not anything like that. We're dealing with energies here. Other things you're dealing with tend to be physical realities and chemicals you're putting into your body, otherwise known as medicines. But you can get the next level of empowerment here. So if you're trying to build up those well-being and have a high level of protection for your well-being, well, this would be something you use or could even broadcast to yourself and so forth. But this one is a little different, because this one is what, if you get a custom-made one, you actually get an entire 9-digit number here that we produce personally for you. So this is what it looks on the back. It's beautifully done. It's black, and we have all those numbers there. And it goes through the entire process of what there. So here's your 9 numbers, and this is made specifically for you. So this will empower you and all that goes with that. So that's what the backside looks like. And that means that the energy on this side is being sent to you 24/7 because you are connected to this particular energy, whatever that may be, 24/7. So you can see how much more powerful that is. And then you don't even really need, you do want to amplify everything. So you would still put that in a box like this. And of course, I have one of the older designs. We now have red boxes up here. But this would then amplify it. So you don't even need actually a particular photograph in here because it's already logged. It's already connected to you there. So all you'd have to do here is put that in there. Now this is broadcasting it to you in a subtle energy manner. You're getting energy from the top. You're getting energy from the bottom. Of course, you've got the great master manifester here. This is your radionic machine. That's how radionics works, people. There's no magic going on here in terms of dials do something particular. That's a psychic focusing. But what you really need is to have this energy needs to be sent to an amplifier and then transmitted for peak power. And, life is tough, man. And, you need lots of energy. So when you do low-level things like this, of course it helps. And when you focus on it, it helps as well. But every little step is important. There's no quick shortcuts to be able to do things and manifest through troubled times, through serious problems. You're in serious problems with money. You need to get a job. Your well-being's messed up. Well, to think you're just going to do one little step and that's going to solve your problem alone, well, you can certainly try that, and people have been successful, but, we have to break through. We need to really go out there and kick some butt, and the only way you're going to do that is by using, and this is our new tube amplifier unit out there, which is extremely powerful. It's double the power of our old units. It has its own antenna. You get 2 of our special tachyon neutrino cells on there. There's nothing like that out there. We use all those very pure energies that come from the cosmos that are not infected by Earth energies. And of course, we have some sacred geometry on this on it as well. This empowers everything. And of course, we have this. So very, very beautiful unit. These can be bought separately, and you can add that onto anything you have. Any unit you have. There's a lot of radionic units that have been sold for the last 20 years or so from a whole bunch of different manufacturers, and we understand that. Generally, these are okay, even though if you have an orgone-based unit, you need to get a clearing plate. But generally, there's nothing wrong with these units per se, but they're just very, very weak because they don't have any amplification in them. So you need to get an amplifier, or you're kind of wasting your time just to tune a radionic box in using dials and pretty much the low-level garbage that was made out there. Some very even toxic, like were made with orgone units, are just don't have the kick, period. So you've got to do the little things. You've got to have things like the proper Polaroid camera that you're capturing the energy for. You've got to have that amplifier, and you really need to have a transmitter as well. These are the keys to really getting great results, and I get great results all the time, and there's pretty much nothing that I can't manifest generally. So and the average person who doesn't have any blockages, who doesn't have the kind of negative energies that they like to hit this organization with to stop our work, are able to manifest really. You do this procedure, you manifest what you need by using these tools. And of course, we now have the Scion generator, fantastic tool. This is the cutting edge of all cutting edge. Materialization technology is here, and it's super simple and powerful. So do check out the Scion generator, which is available now. Get yours while you can. You never know what the future holds, and these are in relatively limited supply until we get fully into manufacturing. But I mean, that's one of the ways of actually doing it. The other way, of course, if you do have any type of rate, and I showed you how to use our symbolic ones. Well, let's say you've got a dial unit, and we are coming out with dial units. I mean, people think they like dial units. They think they're so good. All of that is part of the process of radionics. And let's prop this up a little. We can see it a little better. So most radionic units are the same. Of course, we have ones coming out that are going to be highly empowered. While they will be non-electric, there's going to be a bunch underneath here. This is the older type, which has a flow pattern. But, we did all the right things when we were more into the electromagnetic spectrum. We did things like pure copper plates. You won't find that in heavy plate. These are gold-plated holders for your witness, which is generally initially starts off as your own photograph. We even have copper screws here, and we put copper around the plastic. This is up here. This is gold-filled wire, and we're going to be using that again. The precious metals are very important. And we have beautiful big dials that are easy to read and everything else. And I'm going to be retuning this. I'm going to put it all back to 0 here. I'm going to be putting in a new frequency for myself. But how do you use this? Well, we always use our tachyon neutrino cells. And these are always placed on here as a last. But getting back to what we were doing, I mean, you get a plate like this. Where is it? Here we go. Here's a money one. This is easy to see on camera. So here's the money one right here. So what you would do is this is going to go on your actual witness plate. This is where the energy goes in and it comes out here. So where it comes out is where you want to put your target picture. And that would be this. So that's the target or the person you want to send energy to. And here is your numbers. So this starts off with 7. I don't know how much we can see here. But that goes to 7. This is dial number 2. It's 6. This goes over to 6. So you dial that into 6. The third number would be 7. Now this happens to go, the fourth dial is up here on this unit. And of course you have to check where yours is. Hopefully you know that. Problem with some older units is that they don't mark the dials. Okay, so this would be 9. This would be 5. This would be 4. And this one goes up to here again. And then you're looking at 8. I can take this off for now. 8. 6. And the last one is 7. So now you've locked in money energies here. Already, this is where the real energy comes from. The energy of money is flowing into this, and then it's flowing out to you if you're on the back, like we have with the other type of, with your code on the back, if you have one. If not, it's the same on both sides, but this is loaded with energy, and most of the time you can feel the energy there. So this is going to go on your actual in plate. So now that energy is going through there, it's going through the dials, you've tuned it in, and then you actually put your photograph there. And I always put a tachyon cell there as well. And you can buy those separately. I mean, it's just amazing pure energy. And that's what's so great about tachyons and neutrinos, because they are working at faster than the speed of light particles, which neutrinos have been particularly verified by scientists. Is that good or bad? I'm not sure. And of course, we also have graviton energy we're pulling in as well. So this is this forms a kind of an antenna that kind of draws in a tiny bit of these energies, because it's very difficult to draw those energies in anyway. And if you drew in tachyons, neutrinos, and gravitons at a very high level, you would be creating antimatter, I think, and would probably cause, or just trying to energize what we're doing to a higher level and pure energies. And these are pure energies. Orgone is filthy because it's condensed or accumulated. This is not accumulated. This is an antenna. We're not bringing in more and more. We're serving as an antenna to channel these energies that are pure and going at high speeds into the actual device to energize it, as a general rule. Now, the problem is that when you accumulate, it's orgone accumulation, you're accumulating energy from the atmosphere, which is just filthy. And that's, what have we got here? All the nuclear power plants that are leaking like sieves everywhere, the air pollution, all the other stuff. I mean, we live in a very toxic environment, which is really sad. But you certainly don't want to accumulate that toxic energy into what you're doing. So while the old idea of orgone and what Wilhelm Reich did was certainly very interesting discoverer of it, but everyone knows that's done any research on orgone is you cannot accumulate from this atmosphere. I mean, Mayo talks about this in his Orgone Accumulator Handbook, where there's a whole chapter on the difficulties and problems of orgone accumulation. But let's move past that. We have better stuff. Why use the old garbage? And don't believe the lies people are telling you about any of that. So the whole idea is you're accumulating, you've got all the rates in there, and that's the way you would use one of these on a tuning device. But you can see you don't need the dials. This doesn't amplify very much. This is a psychic tuner to get the numbers that are on here. And of course, it does generate a certain amount of energy by the way the wires are. And of course, the way this is made with pure copper, even the, that's how well I built things in the back. Pure copper screws, pure copper tape, gold fill wires, copper screws again. I mean, this is, this is what you call quality made stuff in a hardwood walnut box. God, this is beautiful. So, what a beautiful piece of work. And of course, we always have our in and out jacks. I don't know why these weren't gold at the time. I don't know. But the bottom line is you also can add anything you want in. Here's in, here's out. So you can connect this box into an actual, if you desire, an amplifier. But we now have a wireless transmission as well. I mean, we just do everything right. And there's just nobody even comes close. That's what real technology is. And I've been doing this for, in radionics, I've been at probably 30, 40 years. In the entire field, I've been in just about 55 years, where I've been studying since a young child. So the whole idea is that this is the amazing type technology. That's how you use these. And these are pretty inexpensive. Even the, I recommend you get the ones that are tuned to you personally, which have your cosmic code on the back. And of course, that's what we put on our regular energy cells. Your energy cells have your cosmic code on the back of it. So you'd have numbers like this would be on the back of your cosmic code amulets, energy cells as we call them. But you can get these like this as well, and you get them in a set or even individually, and you can get your own number on the back to get that special thing. And as I said, you can see they're beautifully thick. They're very well made. I mean, these are beautiful again as well. I try and make the highest quality products that we can get out there at the fairest prices. So this is really a beautiful set. I've been showing these for a while, but I didn't have this one. I had somehow misplaced it. Now we have new one, and this is exciting that we can offer these. And again, these are reasonably priced. You don't need a machine. You don't need a dial machine. You don't even need one of these boxes per se. But as I said, every time, it's like everything else. You can walk to a store or work or wherever you have to go. You can take a bicycle, or you can use a car. And, you're going to get there, but it's going to take longer if you walk. It'll be a little shorter if you have a bike, and it'll be much faster if you have a car. So, I mean, that's pretty much how to look at things. So, you should be getting into this. Technology is going to save your life. This technology is going to you'll be the one who survives and prospers in this coming hard time. Invest in some technologies. I try and have things that are reasonably priced. You can get a whole system like this very inexpensively. The box, the discs, which are interchangeable. These discs come out, and you can put different discs in here. This is a pyramid power design. This one here, this is a master radionic symbol. And these all come out, and you can switch them. And we're coming out with that system. We have ones that right now have our other system, which is based on plates, which are really powerful as well. So we have a couple of ways of doing that, and we're excited about that new discovery. Our Scion generator is coming out. These are made in small batches, so grab them when you can, and we'll go there. So keep that in mind. So these are great, and these, as I said, are inexpensive. They'll last you a lifetime. You're not going to need to boost your well-being. You're not going to need that all your life, right? No, you only need that for a little while, so you don't want to invest it, right? Of course, nobody needs money. I only need money this week, Dr. Thor. After that, I'm living on love. Okay, dumb guy. And all that stuff that goes. You only need protection? Well, you need protection all the time. Your life may be going great, and then you're sipping on your Starbuckies, walking down the street, and somebody runs you over. Talk to John Mack about that. So the whole idea is that, plow you down. You never know what's going to happen. Life is spooky and scary. Be careful. You always need protection. And then maybe you have some special desires, wants. Maybe there's something unusual in your life. Maybe you need something odd. You are into a particular type of God form, alternative sexuality, whatever it may be. You can use this plate and buy an oil that is equivalent to what you want. Maybe you need force in your life. Maybe you want to bring in spirits with Van Van. Well, we're going to have plates of these eventually, but for the time being, you get the oil and you rub it on there. And of course, these oils last for many, many years, and you use them on tea lights that you would then put on top of your box here. You put them in a holder, you put them on top here. You anoint the candle with that, you light it. You have all this going underneath, you light it on top. That's what we call a cheap generator. So tea lights, you can purchase the least expensive type, and you can get these 4 to 8 cents each. So that's another way to add empowerment here. And at least for the time being, you wouldn't have to get a actual tube amplifier. But again, you're cutting it down. You're going from a car. Are you walking? Are you driving a bike? What are you doing? So all of the kind of empowerments that you add into what you're doing get you faster, stronger results, and your failure rate is much, much lower, if at all, when you start using empowered technologies. When you start getting down to lower level things, manifesting time can get rough. There's a lot of negative energies around you. You have a lot of blockages in your life. And if you're not out there blowing through these, uncrossing yourself, and we're coming out with a lot of uncrossing, unblocking tools here in the near future. So if you don't have a custom thing like this, a custom way to get the energies. Now, right now, as I mentioned, when you have the numbers on there, this energy is sent to you 24/7. Very, very powerful. And as I said, you can carry these with you, wear this around your neck, particularly times of trouble. Maybe there's real negative well-being energies out there, which there seems to be all the time now. Wear this. You can also wear it with money. So people are wealthy because they get opportunities. That's what it's really all about. The richest men in the world are some of the stupidest idiots you'll ever want to deal with. People like Billy Gates. This guy couldn't even get a proper haircut for most of his life. So the whole idea is that he graduated high school. Do people understand that? He never went to business school. So the whole idea is, of course, on these you get the double-sided, and these are less expensive that way. It's best to invest in a custom one. You're going to keep these for the rest of your life. All of the tools we make are tools you should be using every day. You brush your hair, you clean your teeth, you take a shower, you're usually eating something. Yep, that's right. And what are you doing? You're focusing with your tools. You're using your radionic boxes. You're using these other tools. It's easy, it's simple, and this is what's going to make you successful in life. Just like any other daily maintenance things you do and habits you get into. Get into the right habits, change your life. I've done this all my life and came from absolutely nothing. Not only less than nothing. I basically had particularly a father who tried to stop me from being successful and even tried to murder me on 2 occasions because I was doing better than him. He was a groveling little coward all his life. While his bosses were driving around in Range Rovers, he had a Pinto. Of course, he was a little loser, and that's the reality of it. So the whole idea is I've been able to do this and do amazing things all my life and continue to do that, and you can do the same. Empower your life. That's what it's all about. The energies work in your life and manifest as they can depending on your life. Get out of the fantasy of genie lamps that you're going to be a millionaire and win the lottery. Well, these things are possible, and occasionally people are able to get major windfalls. It's about improving your life on a day-to-day basis. It's about getting those breaks, making those right decisions so that your life goes smooth. So here are some of the great tools. Watch for many more coming. We have lots of new technology coming out. We have updated all of our tools and technologies for the new year. We have new machines coming out. So everything is really flowing at a really high level. And this is the best stuff. Of course, I always improve every year, but things markedly increase. We're jumping ahead with our technologies, our understanding, and last year was a fantastic breakthrough year where we figured everything out of what these energies are, how they work, and how to use them in your own personal life. Now we are 100% in the development stage because we are not researching. We know what it works, and we are developing them into the best, most powerful tools at the most reasonable prices. So you are one of the few lucky ones that now can access this. Jump on it, check out our catalog. Remember, like this actual video, subscribe, and of course, support us on Patreon and All Access. If you want to be in on everything, you want to make sure we continue as an organization, vote with your wallet a little. It's a minor amount of support, and you get huge benefits from being involved. By connecting to a huge, successful power source, this comes back to you. So when you're connected, you get the benefits of that. So this is, this is where you support. This is the people that do something. We are the ones, and particularly myself, I am here producing to help the society every single day, and those who deserve it are those who connect to the energy. If you're not connected to the energy, well, you just get, our products always give people great results, but the whole idea, everybody wants those high-level, quick, fast results. Well, are you doing your daily practices? Do you have the tools you need? Are you supporting the organization and connected to the ultimate source of empowerment for you, which is radionic tech? If you're not, well, these are all the steps down again. So those who really are successful I talk with them, talk with these people many weekly, daily, etc. They're always doing well. And why are they doing well? They have the tools and they're supporting this organization, and they just suck all that great energy in, and everything basically goes good for them. When they do have minor downs, which sometimes is almost impossible, these downs usually turn into positives. I don't know how many people I talk to that have one problem or another. They're forced to get a new job, and their new job pays them a lot more than the old one did, but they would have never left their old job unless they were fired or told to leave or whatever. That's how life is. So the whole idea is we go on with that to a higher, better plane of existence through being connected to those people who are doing something of value, and that's what Radionic Tech has always done. So be part of that. Change your life. Now's the time. We're going into very odd and strange times coming up. You need to be as highly empowered as possible if you're going to be the one to survive and prosper. And you certainly will be if you use this tech. Until next time.